Alright, this is the rooter door that we talked about in there. This particular one's one I built, and it's a steel frame with aluminum doors. I encourage you to come over and play with it, see what you think about it. A couple downsides to this door that, in hindsight, looking back, things that make them more effective. Where does this piece of metal right here need to be if you build one of these? This is the inside of the trap.
But it can't push it out.
This is the inside of the trap. When that hog comes in, this is going to be one of the only corners you have on this trap. If this is the only corner, where does this piece of
it needs to be on the other side?
It needs to be on the outside. Exactly right. Because he can push and kick here. It's welded good. I'm a halfway decent welder. He can break this. I've replaced it on several of them. It needs to be on the outside. A lot of folks build the whole thing out of aluminum. Now I'm fine with that. Material-wise, you're looking at probably about $40 to $50 more to build it out of aluminum versus steel. It's entirely up to you, however you want to do it. But it does make a tremendous difference if this is aluminum. That noise right there, everybody says they're not going to go in if they hear that. They'll go in it. The problem you have is after the first ones go in it and hear that thing slam, if you've got 10 hogs on the outside, 2 or 3 go in, when that thing slams, the rest of them run off. And just by watching my cameras on the traps, they stay going anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes to 2 or 3 hours. But they'll come back and some will still push their way into the trap. If I was going to build one of these that I thought would be more effective, the main thing that I would change is the width. I'm a firm believer in that the wider that entry is, the more successful you'll be at trapping. I've seen it time and time again, and I think a wide door is the answer. Assembling one of these things, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm sure y'all can figure it out. What's the first thing we need to do when we're setting one of these up?
Location.
All right, location. We've got our location picked out. We've got our location picked out, and we're going to set this trap right here where it's sitting right now. This is the location we chose. What's the next thing I do? I've got the gate where I want it.
Anchor the door.
Right. So these posts are going to anchor this door. That's your first step. Now a lot of people, and you'll figure this out if you do it wrong. The first time you do it wrong, you'll know, and you'll have to start over again. It seems like everybody that I go and help, what they want to do first is go ahead and put all their posts in the ground and make a complete circle with their posts. That's completely backwards. If you do that, you're going to be bending metal and trying to make things fit, and it don't work that way. So get your gate set. Get it where you want it. This particular one is made so the T-post sits right here in this corner, and you put a U-bolt right here and it's locked in. All right. I'm not telling you that's the best way to do it. That's just the way I do it. And then connecting these panels. There's a lot of different ways that you connect panels, and I've seen it done a lot of different ways. The biggest mistake that I see people make, 2 mistakes. Both are very big. Which side of the fence post does this panel go on? It goes on the inside. Now I say that, I was at Edisto Rec like I talked about. We've got probably a 5-year-old, $2 million cattle fence. And guess which side of the post the wire's on? The outside. If you want to keep hogs out of your trap, put this on the outside of the post. If you want to keep them in your trap, this goes on the inside of the trap, or the inside of the post. So that's very big. Another problem that I see people, when they build this corral, they take 2 of these panels and they don't overlap. They'll take this panel and connect them right there. They'll connect them right there, and they will hit it and hit it and hit it, and they'll go through it. If you look at the literature and all that stuff, and I think I sent one of Texas's handouts on corral traps, y'all might have it.
That's the one I gave them.
It suggests doing this right here. So you got 1 full overlap on each side. On mine, I do 2. I just think it gives you a little more flexibility. How many of y'all have seen a 200-pound bull hog in a trap when you walk up? What's he do?
Hitting it hard.
He hits it as hard as he can possibly hit it. All right, and there's another thing where people mess up. If you have this thing dead tight where it can't flex, it'll break. If he hits it in the same spot over and over, it'll break. So you want this thing to be able to flex. The more flexible it is, the less likely he is to break it. It basically works like a spring. Anybody ever seen the kangaroo wire in Australia? They used to keep kangaroos out. I saw a thing the other day, and the guy took a pickup truck at 40 miles an hour and run into this fence, and it threw that truck like 20 foot back. the springier it is, the better. They'll bounce off of it. So basically, what I'm telling you is I like a 2-panel overlap.